My name is Craig P. Sherburne. I like to think of our ability to think and feel in terms of bandwidth. It's a handy tool I like to use to explain and think about my emotional and intellectual abilities in times of stress. The blue circle represents a pipe. Through that pipe flows all of our conscious and unconscious thoughts and all of our emotions. Each of these smaller red circles is a smaller pipe that takes up space within the larger pipe. Each of these things takes up a certain amount of our total bandwidth. But not all the things take up an equal amount of bandwidth. We have dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of things vying for our attention, and there's an infinite variation in how much attention we actually give them. For the sake of this presentation, I limited it to a few items and only two sizes. When our lives are out of balance, things like this can happen. We still have the same total bandwidth, but most of it gets taken up with just one item. See how everything had to shrink in order for work to grow? This is what happens in our brains. Stuff that's usually important isn't. Stuff that's usually easy gets hard. How much time for grocery shopping do you have when work looms this large? This illustrates why balancing our lives is so important. We all prioritize different things, and I can't tell you how to balance your life, but we all know what it feels like when we're out of balance. But that's not the only way our bandwidth can be affected. Depression can do the same thing. The cause of the depression is irrelevant. This applies to a chemical imbalance as much as it does to mourning the loss of a loved one, and everything in between. Depression shrinks our total bandwidth. As a consequence, everything else shrinks with it. Do you see how small the laundry pipe got? Think of how small a pipe like getting dressed for the day might be under normal circumstances. Now think of that pipe shrinking along with everything else, and it makes sense why depressed folks find even the easiest tasks so difficult. The goal of this video isn't to suggest fixes, but to give you a way to think of the way we think and feel. I hope that with a little more understanding, you'll be able to take a little more control over your bandwidth.